Okay. Before we proceed, can you just give a little bit background about yourself?
Okay. Thank you for having me. My name is I have completed my total 5.8 years experience into Power BI. I have worked on multiple domain like banking, insurance, HR, and mostly I worked on the HR domain in my previous company. And my last project was into medical domain. I into Power
Mm.
BI. I am highly skilled in using Power BI for data visualization, analysis. This include creating interactive report and dashboard, connecting various data sources, including SQL database, and implementing complex transformation and calculation of using DEX. And I have started my career in as an analyst. I worked there until 2023. In 2020, and thereby my project was into medical domain. So they were into the client was basically for they were based out of Netherlands, and the company called into manufacturing of equipment of manufacturing of medical equipment. So they are specifically into neuro and sensory. So
Mm-hmm.
they were building an analytical solution. We were building an analytical solution that can gives insight about the product performance, like licensing of software, risk analysis, security of application. For that, I was using import mode for the data fetching. So data source was SQL, Jira, and GitHub. And for the KPI, we show high, medium, and low performance for Black Duck and Coverity. So Black Duck and Coverity were the two software where
Mm-hmm.
the whatever the product they had, all the performance was coming into the Black Duck and Coverity. It was the same performance I had to show into my dashboard. So there must be 20 to 30 reports, and the dashboard were there what I have to make for the different versions. So
Okay. So your entire experience is in Power BI itself.
yes.
Okay. And what about the SQL? Have you worked on SQL programming?
Yes, I do. I had worked on the SQL programming where I have mostly used for DDL, DML command for the data calculation purpose. So and the data verification purpose, where I was validating the data, whatever the data has been provided to us, which is correct or not.
Okay. So, I mean, have you written the joins? Have you created a views, or have you written the triggers or store procedure in SQL?
Yeah, I have worked on SQL as well. Like if the given the task, if it is required, I can write the SQL queries as well into the SQL. So nothing like that. I worked on the SQL only, so I can work on SQL only. I can write SQL
Mm-hmm.
query in the SQL as well.
Okay. So, how you rate yourself in SQL out of 5?
I can rate myself as a 3.5 into in 5, 3 or 3.5.
Okay. Okay. And what about the Power BI?
Power by 4.5, I can rate myself.
Okay. Yeah. First, we will start with the SQL part. So, what is basically a store procedure?
Store procedure is where you can write your command, queries there, where you can apply the commands there. Like it's a set of SQL query statement where you can write the SQL queries on a code according to the
Mm-hmm.
code. For example, if you regularly need to pull the report from the customer, so for the data, or you have to apply filter there, so that store procedure you have to write for that particular command.
Okay. Have you handled the exceptions in store procedure?
Yeah, I did handle the exceptions there. Like you have to
Okay. Yeah. So, how you have handled it?
like in the performance, like instead of writing the pull or report, you can write the code there.
Can you give me an example where you have done the error handling mechanism?
Parameterization, I'll always make sure to design stored procedure with parameters. This allows the procedure to flexible and adaptable with different input. So for example, if I'm pulling the report from the different region, so I would create a procedure that accept region as a parameter. So this way the same
Yeah,
procedure can be used.
but if they you have written the store procedures and you are passing the parameter as world area or region, right?
Yeah.
But in that store procedures, you have written the logic with 100 lines of codes, okay, but there is an exception. How you would handle it? How you come to know that there is an error on so and so line?
Like error handling is critical, but where you can write the each code with transparency, like you have to ensure the whether the each code is correct or not.
Okay. For example, I have created one application, web applications, and in the backend I am using the SQL. Okay. Now my user has a requirement to provide and support to a multi-language. Okay. That means user is trying to provide the input from the user interface with the Japanese, Chinese, or Italian, or maybe Spanish language. Okay. And I have to provide the support for that. Which data type you will prefer to provide the support for multi-language characters?
Like to support multi-language including Japanese, Chinese, we can in your SQL database you can include the n-word data type, like it store like unicode data which is essential for handling a character from various languages.
Okay, and how much length the NVARCHAR will support?
And where can
Maximum length.
255.
Sure.
Yeah, like and
Have
where
you
like
used a blob data type?
block data type I haven't worked on, but I
Okay, can you tell me the difference between table variable and temporary table?
table variable has limited to batch there, like limited scope there to transform
Hmm.
and
Okay, and what about the temporary table?
like like temporary table is used for larger data set, like complex queries require indexing for when you need to retain data across multiple stored procedures. And table variable we use when working with small data set, when you don't have to need indexing beyond the primary key, or when you need to table be immune.
Mhm. Okay. Um, what are the different types of temporary table you can create in SQL?
Different type of table we can create, like a local temporary table we can create, or we can do the naming visibility that way, or global temporary table.
Okay.
We
Can
can
you give me one example or scenario where you have used a global temporary table?
use it, but I can give you the example when we can use a local temporary table.
Hmm?
Like we can create a table, like a table name id or int, and name where
Hmm.
care we can write as 50. So there we can use the temporary like a temporary table or a global temporary. It will allow, like it will available all session, like all connection, but it's drop automatically when when the last session using it closed. So that helps.
And what about the local temporary table?
A local is exists only you only the duration the session or connection that created, and once the session end the table automatically dropped.
Okay. Have you worked on functions in SQL?
Functions I have worked on.
Okay. Can you tell me different types of functions we can create in SQL?
Function like aggregation function we can create, some x
Those
average.
are the system defined functions. What about the user defined functions?
User defined functions.
Okay. Have you worked on triggers?
Triggers I have like user yeah, I have worked on triggers.
Can you tell me what are the different types of triggers we can create?
Like DML commands we can use after trigger for like find user. Like we can create a like a trigger after insert or a employee insert, that way we can create.
When to use a trigger? Can you give me one example where you need a trigger?
Like it try to respond the insert, update or delete operation to the table of views. Like like DML command we can use when like we have to work on the table, like insert the table, delete the table, or create or alter or drop the tables, where then we can use.
Okay. Um Let me give you one example. You can just you have used the joins in SQL, right?
Yes.
Okay, what are the different types of joins available in SQL?
Inner join, outer join, left join, right join. So these are the different types of joins are available in the SQL.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one table. Okay, table A, and this is the table B, and maybe we can see here ID column is there. Okay, now I have written the query like select star from A, join B on A dot ID equal to B dot ID. How many records will I get if I write the query like this?
Okay, table ID is one. Table ID A is 1111. B ID is 111. Okay. So table A has like select
Has
from
4 records, and table B has 3 records, and I want to use an inner join between these two tables.
inner join
Yeah.
with these two tables. So all the records from the right side. All 4 rows from the table A will be included, and each row will be matched with 3 rows from the table B. If ID 1 exists, 12.
Okay. 12 record. Okay, and if I use a right outer join in that case?
Written all like if user all 3 row from the table B will be include since ID one match. It will right a right join also will be like for 12.
Okay. Now, for example, I have one more record here with null value. In that case,
If B included a null value as well. So so which join in inner join?
right outer join.
Okay. Then will there will be no match. The result is null for column from the left table. Right join.
That means,
Like raw in table B with null value will be include in the result set with null for the column from table A where there is no match.
okay, so the total count from this query will be
12 only.
12. Okay, and if I use a cross join, then
Then select A, B, B. Then 2 rows, 3 rows, 6. Then it will come like 6. Like only matching record will come, no? So it will come like 6.
okay. If I have written query like this, select star from A where null equal to null, what will be the output of my query?
Select star from A where null is equal to null. The select star the will not be will not return any row then condition null or null. Then it will evaluate as a false because SQL 3 valued logic like true, false, unknown. So it will use the logic there.
Okay,
So the
let
some
me stop
column
the
is
sharing.
come at null.
Okay, okay, let me stop the sharing. Yeah, can you tell me how you will write the query to find out the duplicate employee from the employee table?
Then we can select employee name count star as count from employee and group by employee having count star and below one, that we can
Okay,
write.
any other alternative you can use?
Select employee id, employee name, employee address, count from employee, group by employee day, employee name, employee address and having count minus one, then that will let right.
Instead of group by any other alternative?
Any other alternative? So then we can use the duplicate ct command there, like duplicate function we can use directly there.
How?
With we can write the ranked there, with ranked employee as select star row number
Hmm.
over partition by employee name, order by employee ID as an employee from, that way we can write. Or for with ranked employee id as select star row number over partition by employee name, employee address, order by as are from employee, that way we can we'll use a ranked function, no? So then it will give us idea about it.
Okay, and if I want to find out the 10th highest salary from the employee table, then how you will write the query?
Then select then we can write the select star from employee, where salary is equal to select max salary from employee. So then
It will give me 10th highest salary, you
yeah,
meant to say.
yeah, 10th highest salary it will give you.
10th or highest salary it will give.
It will give you the highest salary. Then we
But I
have a,
want 10th highest salary, I
then we
want.
can with the ranked salary as select salary row number, or that way then we can put it a descending order. We use the order by as a descending, and then run, then we can we will put the ranked function there, where
Hmm.
will assign all the rank to the all the salary. Then according to
Hmm.
that we'll put the where rank is equal to 10. So that way we can figure it out. Then we can do
Okay.
the select distinct salary from employee, order by salary distinct, offset 9 rows, or next
Mm-hmm.
one row only. That way also we can do.
Okay. Have you created views in SQL?
Views is a temporary create view, temporary table there, column 1, column 2, that way I have created. Like,
Can you tell me the difference between table and view?
views, it is not a actual data there, where you just create a table for your purpose,
Hmm.
so we do not have views do not have indexes themselves. So however indexes or underlining tables can impact our performance or queries, or tables are store procedure there, that is physically stored to have fixed schema, support data there, and manipulation you can do, or operation has been performed. But a view
Hmm.
is provided virtually there to represent the data, so it does not store there into the underlining table, and can simplify complex queries to provide data abstractions.
Okay. Last question related to the SQL. You have written the stored procedures which contains thousands of lines. Okay. Now the execution of that procedure is taking like 10 minutes. Okay. And I want to improve the performance. Which factors you will consider for performance improvement?
So we'll check the proper indexing has happened or not. or review the optimization query. Like we can examine the optimization SQL query with the procedure of effective
How
indexing.
you will examine?
We will avoid unnecessary joins or step queries, like simplify queries to reduce complexity or processing time.
Mm.
Or
Mm.
indexing, we can add or update indexing, like we can ensure that appropriate indexes are in
Mm.
place or table used in queries, especially on column involved in the join, filter, or sorting. Or we can review the indexes as well, like we can use a tool like the SQL Server Management Studio or database engine, so that will also help out. So and yeah, so
Okay.
this
Any
this
other?
or we can use efficient data types, like ensure column use the most efficient data types or reduce storage or processing overhead. So these
Okay.
can or we can like ensure that transaction are properly committed to roll back to avoid long running logs. And we can do the
Mm.
parameterization also, like we can ensure that the queries are parameters to leverage query plan catching or avoid rephrasing there. So these can, many things are there, but these things we can rebuild the indexes as well, like periodically rebuild indexes to maintain performance to avoid fragmentation. So these
Mm-hmm.
techniques can help.
Okay. Now, moving back to Power BI side, how many reports you have developed in Power BI?
I have developed many reports in the Power BI. If you talk about, like, I my on the last organization, I have developed many reports. The main task was into the like I have in my first company, I was mostly worked on the HR data set, and to my
Mm.
last organization, I have worked on the medical domain, where I was handling the data there. Like sorry, I was making the report for the medical domain.
Okay, so which data source you have used for your report?
I have used SQL. I have worked on SQL, Excel, or SQL Access, and Get data. I have used. I have fetch out the data from the Jira as well.
Okay, and which different modes are used in your report?
I have used import mode or direct query mode mostly. I have worked on the mostly import mode into the data source.
Okay, so you haven't used a direct query or live connection.
Direct query I have used for one report where I had to fetch the data from the GitHub, so to make the pull request data. So there I have used the direct query mode.
Okay, so what are the limitations of using direct query?
uh, like directory is not data is not imported, but rather queries directly from the data source in real time. Like it would allow the data, like it will help you out to fetch out the data into the real time. So it
Mm.
is useful to the excess of data. So it is suitable for scenario where real time data is required and the data source is capable to handle or query efficient.
Yeah,
So
but what are the limitations for that? If
like
you have used a direct query, then what are the limitations or what are the things you cannot do using the direct query?
up to 10 GB data we can store into the direct query.
But like you said, it is connected to the real-time data, and then where is the question of
Oh, so
storing the data?
limitation. Sorry, I'm sorry. It is worked on the import mode. Limitation in direct query is we can see the data model there. We have to fetch out the data. We cannot do the transformation like we cannot apply dex function into the direct query mode. We have to do the all the transformation into the data source only. So that this is the limitation there uh, into the direct query mode. We can't see the data model. We can't perform the any query function or dex expression or time intelligence function. We just have to do the all the changes, whatever the changes we want to do, we can do into the source file only.
Okay, have you created a data flow in Power BI?
Yeah, I have created the data flow in Power BI.
What is the purpose of creating it? Why
Da-
you have created it?
Data flow is a purpose to create the data is to see to the see the performance of the data, like you can choose the data, creating the purpose of the data, to create the visualization there into the to the define use of the data by creating
Mm.
visuals.
Okay, have you created a data mart?
Designed to serve the need to a specific business or department, providing targeted or analysis. Like I haven't used it, but I just have a bit idea about it. Like most of
Okay.
the data I worked on, the semantic model I worked on, and
Mm.
I have directly connected through the SQL server or the Excel file for the data
Mm.
purpose.
Okay, so you have created a measures calculated column into your report.
Yes, I have created measures and calculated columns
Okay.
in my
Can
report.
you tell me the difference between calculated columns and measures?
Calculated columns where you can create another column into the existing data, which
Mm.
you can if you want to do the calculation between the two table, like sum, divide,
Mm.
or any function you want to use. If you want to fetch out the percentage or the total number of value between the two table, so
Mm.
there you use the calculated column. And measures where you make where you can you don't have to create the another column into the data set. It is just a measure where you can create the measure there, where you can use the if we can use the effective use of the measure, where you can pull out the total number of value, average, if
Mm.
average last year amount, current year amount. That way you can use the measure.
Okay. Have you used a hierarchical relationship in Power BI using the DAX?
Yeah, a hierarchical relationship, it's filled in pan into the level of hierarchy, like a drag or drop or additional field into the hierarchy defined, like my country, state, or city of hierarchy.
No, no, I'm talking about the DAX expressions. Have you used any hierarchical functions in your report?
Dex expression, no,
Yeah.
uh, no, common dex expression. I haven't I haven't used. I'll use the hierarchical expression. I've used that visual there into for the
Okay.
showing
Can you
the
give me example where you have used summarize and summarize columns?
like summarize when you can group by the column 1 or column 2. There you use this summarize function, like uh, like uh, like a summarize table with the product category or region, or grouping column to calculate or total sales to average discount, or each combination of product category or region, if you want to fetch out the data, like average
And
discount.
what about summarize columns?
Is a more modern function to the simplify the syntax of creating a summary table, and then often prefer of it as performance benefit.
Okay.
So
Have you used a query folding in Power BI?
a query folding is whatever the changes you do into the power query, so
Hmm.
that will convert into the code into the particular, so that will happen, the same changes will happen into the source file only. Like it will convert into the code, and the same changes will happen into the source file. You can see the SQL, if the changes, if your data source is SQL, so you can see the same changes happen into the SQL file as well, where you have fetched it out the data. So that is the query folding, which is convert into the one particular language, am language. So you can see the
Hmm.
whatever changes you will do, you can see the same change into the source file as well. So that is the query folding.
Okay. Can you give me the difference between sum and sum x?
Some yeah some is when you have to calculated one table, so like a total number of value of the sum, so it will give you the total number of count on the one particular column. So that is the sum, which will not put any filter there into that particular column. So that is
Mm,
sum. And sum x, when like you have to enter iterated over a table, over a table expression, performing row wise
mm.
calculation before summing up the result. So sum x is table and expression, so if you put their expression there, so you will get the data according to that. Like total revenue is equal to sum x sales quantity, or sales unit price, so that way you use the sum x.
Okay. Have you used a concatenate X function?
Concatenate x function as like it concentrate the result of the expression evaluate over, or a table expression, and optionally separate the result with a specific delimiter. Like it will
Mm.
use concatenated x table expression delimiter, order by expression, or order you can put there. So like so that where we can use it.
Okay, let me give you one example. I have a data, periodic data for every financial year. Okay, let's take an example like resources booking the hours on the project periodically. Okay, and I want to show the data on my report with the 12 months rolling. Okay, now the current period is supposed P8, and I want to show backdated, like back 12 months data. So which mechanism you will use to show a 12 months rolling data into your report?
Like we can create a date table there. A date table essential for time based calculation. For you can create a table
Mm,
using dex, like calendar date
mm,
2023, like 1 date, or 24 or 12-month data till 31st,
mm,
initially in 23 we'll add initial date as first or first month, or
mm.
24, then we can add last year in 24, 12th month and the last date, and then
Okay, so you
as
mean to say you have created a calendar table. What
yeah,
will be the next step?
then we can use the role example rolling 12-month hours. It calculates some resource hours date as period,
Mm.
that we can use
12
rolling.
months rolling. For example, XYZ, ABC, or maybe Purva, Amit, those are the resources I'm displaying in the left hand side, and the right hand side I am displaying the periods with the hours for each resource. Okay, and I want to show data from P8 to back 12 months. So current is a P8 FY24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and after that, it 4 periods from FY23.
So rolling 12-month calculates some resource hours, date as period, date table, or date, or max date table, or like minus 12 we can do as month.
So you mean to say you will create a measure in that case to calculate the hours.
Yes, yes.
And what about the periods? How you will display the 12 months rolling period in the matrix visual?
So so if you want to create a matrix visual, we can we can use the some resource as date period date table. So you don't want
Okay.
to create a measure there.
No, I'm just asking you how you will display the 12 months rolling data.
So every month
You
will
can use any mechanism. You can use any mechanism. Whether you will use a matrix visual or any other visual.
like we can define a measure to calculate the hours for each resource, like over the
Hmm.
rolling 12-month period. So we'll create a measure for
Okay.
that.
And what about the periods? How you will display the 12 months rolling periods?
Like a rolling 12-month hours calculate like some resource hours, date period, or so this measure sums up the hours from the resource table over the past 12 months from the
Hmm.
maximum
Hmm.
date in your table. So we can create a measure to filter by the period, like define a measure to focus on the rolling 12 months from a specific period.
Hmm. Okay. Have you created a bookmarks in
uh,
your report?
yeah, bookmark I
Can
have.
you give me Can you give me one example where you have used?
Like a bookmark where we can create, where you will put the button there, where you can like in the one particular page only we
Mm-hmm.
can create multiple visuals. So and
Mm-hmm.
for that to go on that particular visuals we can create the buttons. So you can
Mm-hmm.
create if we will click on that bookmark we can go to that particular visuals there. So in
Okay. What are the different options available while updating the bookmark?
like means.
Have you observed, like for example, you are updating the bookmark, right? You are creating the bookmark, you are showing and hiding visuals, but there are some options available while updating the bookmark. What are those different options?
While updating the bookmark we can use like current page use cases there. So that we can
Mm.
do like a
Okay.
data function or display function there. So or
Mm.
current page. So
Okay.
this
Have you implemented
visuals
security into your report?
row level security row level
Mm.
security you are talking about. Yes, I have
Yeah, yeah.
implemented row level security there, where you want to like uh, you want to segregate the access of the data, like you provide the security for the data
Mm.
for the according to the user, like it can be the department wise, state wise,
Mm.
country wise, or according to the dex expression. According to the
Mm.
requirement you provide the expression. But for the
Mm.
you just want to restrict the data for the use, so where you use a you use a row level security there.
Mm. Okay. Let me give you one example. So, what are the different transformations you have used in your report?
Transformation like filter out record with the date beyond certain range, or
Mm.
exclude inactive customers. So like we can use a table dot sales select row source each status or active, or we can
Mm.
remove the column, adding column, or merging the queries. So these are
Mm.
the, or appending joins. These are the like or grouping the data, summarizing the data. So these are the transformation I have performed
Mm.
into the Power BI.
Okay, now I am giving you one example. You can tell me what transformations you will apply to achieve the result. Okay, this is my period column, and I want the output like this: P01, P02, P03, P04, P05, and P06. So how many transformations or what kind of transformations you will use to get this output?
Okay, into the period column.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are many more options here. Maybe we can say FI pipe P24 P07. So likewise my table will grow. I want only the period column here.
We can remove the unnecessary text here, like first remove all non relevant characters or text to isolate the period number. Like we can
Okay, but
extend.
you never know how many characters are there. Sometimes there is angular bracket, sometimes there is a hash, there is a hyphen, there is equal to, there is a plus sign, there may be a bracket, there may be a semicolon, there may be colon.
So we can convert to number, like we can convert to number, like we can first it is convert to number, like we can use the convert to number like index
But
expression. like
But if you convert this column to number, Power BI will work or it will throw error?
no, it will work. We will use the we can use the code m code where we can convert the number. So if you can if we can attempt to convert the period column directly to the number in Power BI, so we can encounter the error of unexpected result due to presence of non-numerical character or specific symbol into the
Okay,
original
but
data.
still, in that case, you mean to say we can achieve that? That means you are able to convert this column into number. Will you be able to get this output in that case?
If you attempt the convert to period column directly to the number without the first cleaning the data, you will be we will be likely to
Okay.
encounter issue and
So,
error. So due to presence
you
of,
mean to say that cleaning of the column will be required, right?
yeah, yeah.
So how you will clean? Which step you will follow to clean the data?
So clean the data will use the by removing non-numeric character or convert to like a non-numeric character will remove and then will convert to the number to them. That way we can do. Or uh, like we can remove non-numeric character or select period column there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. How you are sharing your report to users?
I'll share the link with them. They have a link for the direct access to their dashboards. So whatever the
Hmm.
update they have, I'll update there, and they do have that particular link. So they go to the link and see the updated report into the
Okay.
for the Power BI
And
services.
how you are refreshing your report?
Into the Power BI services, I have put the schedule refresh detail there. So and
Okay.
so
Now, if I don't want to schedule refresh, okay,
hmm.
but still I want to refresh the report automatically. How you will do it?
You can launch the Power BI Dex or open your report. We can refresh the data.
That
Click on
is
the refresh
that is
button.
a manual activity, but I
Yeah,
want it automatically.
we have to we have to the if then if we are using the direct query mode import mode, we have to use the like either we have to do the manual refresh, or we have to go to the Power BI services and schedule the refresh. So
Okay. Have you
or
used a Power Automate Flow?
four, or no, I haven't used it.
Power Apps? Have you worked on Power Apps?
Power app I haven't worked on. Like I do
Okay.
have the
Power BI.
idea about it, the Power app and all. In my company, they
Hmm.
have worked on too. I was the part of that, but I haven't worked on the single-handedly on that.
Okay. Paginator reports?
A paginated report is the report where the user want a hard copy of the report. So according
Hmm.
to their requirement. So that is a Word file only, or the Excel file where you
Hmm.
they can see the numbers of the report. So that is the paginated report.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm done with the interview. I'll share your feedback to Sneha. She will get